What's up, everybody? We are back today with another 30 Memes to Midnight podcast on the Just Your Average Teach channel. But it's a little bit different today because we don't have Colt with us. A new challenger is approaching. And I think the best way for me to kind of introduce this is just to let that person introduce themselves. So go right ahead.
Did you know that the macadamia nut is the rarest nut on the planet because it's only grown in Australia and that's like their main harvest?
That's how we're going to start. I'm not editing that out, by the way. I want you to know that's staying in. So, do you want me?
Sure.
Okay. So, I don't really know how the best to, do I describe you as my roommate, or as my girlfriend, or as a friend, or...
I think we should, edit in the Kill Bill siren.
I will try and figure out how to work that out.
Is that copywritten?
It might be copywritten. We'll figure it out. I don't care about monetization right now. But this is a wonderful person. She is an amazing artist. She is fun to be around. I've mentioned her before. She's done my YouTube icon logo. She's done my Twitter logo. She's working on a bunch of other projects right now that are amazing, and I love watching it. This is Mai.
Yeah, I mean, Mai for short. We'll just stick with that.
Well, we don't like our names actually being said, so Mai is just how we're going to go. We've known each other for about 2 years. We are, in fact, we've been dating for almost 2 years at this point. We've been living with each other for almost a year. And don't worry, you'll hear some stories later on down the road. It is hilarious on some of the stuff that I've done because I'm an idiot.
Oh gosh, chocolate reindeer.
Yep.
Breaking the bath or the
bed,
towel rack,
or
the
bed,
box spring. The box spring.
Forgetting.
It's okay. You can break the furniture and I'll light all the food on fire.
And then I won't remember how to actually use our water filter that we have.
Yeah.
But so today, like I said, it's kind of nice to have somebody that isn't Colt because now my knee is in your lap and it's not Colt's lap, so I don't have to worry about him getting a little with me. Wow. Colt's gonna hear this. I'm gonna get a text at 2 a.m. tomorrow. I'll be like, "Hey, fuck you!" That's all it's gonna be. But like I said, she does a lot of art, so I know she does paintings and she does stuff on the computer. I don't really know what the best way to describe that. Drawings is
I
what
would
you
say
normally call
digital art and traditional art at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So which one do you like more? Is there one that you prefer more than the other, or?
Both of them are still really fun, but I've always been whenever I was younger, I would always sketch in notepads and stuff. But then I learned about tablets, and then I really like doing digital art. And then, so I just kind of do a little bit of both. It's like apples and oranges.
Okay.
They're both fruits, but
yeah,
I had to think for a second. I'm like, what?
For somebody who has not an artistic bone in his body, the only art I know is comedy. That's about it. Watching some of the stuff you do is it's so impressive. It really is. And that goes for any, I know you've shown me a lot of art from your friends and everything and the random people online, and it blows my mind away. But it's so nice to, whenever I would wake up and, you to go have your coffee, I'd roll over and see you, back at your house, see you etching and drawing already, and then I wish I would do that now, but man, it's so nice when you get up and I'm like, oh, she's gonna go sleep, let me take all the blankets.
Seems to be a common theme in this household.
It is pretty common, but let's not go into that right now. Let's stick with you. So when did you first realize that you wanted to draw, or what kind of started all that?
I've always been drawing ever since I was really, really young. I would just doodle in notepads. I got in trouble a lot for doodling on the walls.
Oh boy.
And so we had this bunk bed, and I was on top, and I drew on the ceiling and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I've always just been kind of drawing everywhere, and those really crappy art kits that have a whole crap ton of stuff? Yeah, I always had one of those.
I'm sure Coco loved just hearing you draw at night and everything.
Oh, we would draw together, but I'd always find some way to draw. But yeah, it's just always been something that I've done. So,
out of I know you have this one sketch that you've been working on since you were, 13? The one where it's it's the same girl, it's your Sophie, I believe it is. That's been going, or am I getting this all wrong? And I feel like a really bad boyfriend right now. It's the one that you've been working on for years, and you show me your progression of your art improving.
I've had, like it's just a character, but every so often, like, I will redraw her in the same, like, sort of like the same picture, but show, like, the progression. It's like an improvement, meme kind of.
Okay. And, like, I remember you showing me that one time, and it was just amazing watching the progression from year to year and seeing that, and I just thought it was insanely cool. But another one of your hobbies is you love video games.
Oh my
You are
gosh.
a big video game fanatic. You're especially a Nintendo fanatic.
I feel like if I wasn't into video games, you wouldn't love me as much.
That's not true. Let's, come on.
We wouldn't have as much in common,
We wouldn't have as
though.
much as common, for sure, but you kick some serious butt in Splatoon, and we're both very sad that Splatoon 2 is ending.
I mean...
It's Splatfest and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ending yet, but I've always been a big Splatoon fan. Totally big Pokemon fan.
Absolutely.
Just crazy about Gen 8 coming out soon.
Yeah. I've actually got memes to show you later about Willow being looted already.
Oh,
and
gosh.
I'm not okay with it. Like,
But I like the little sheep.
I do like the little sheep. One thing you will find out, and we're actually going to have an entire different episode on this, because what I want to do is you give me Pokemon names to pronounce, right? And I'm going to give you hockey players' names to announce.
Well,
and say.
I can pronounce some Russian names.
Let me just go ahead and throw, Vasily Podkolzin at you, like, names like that. But, like...
I've read Fyodor Dostoevsky's, the brothers Karamazov. I think I can handle it.
Yes, but it's the French-Canadian names that really throw me off and everything as well sometimes.
The silent,
and, then you get to the Swedish names sometimes, and you're like... Is that a vowel? Is that a consonant? But...
And sometimes, why?
And yeah. So I am terrible at pronouncing Pokemon names. It's terrible.
Yeah, like, my favorite Pokemon is Pichu, but you always called it Paichu.
Paichu.
So I imagine, like a little pie.
I'm surprised you haven't made that, actually. It'd be like a nice little banana pie.
Oh my gosh.
In my mind is what I'm thinking of.
I was just thinking of a pie with a little Pichu head on it.
A little shocking pie, But, so what, like, out of all, like, you just said your favorite Pokemon was Pichu, Paichu, whichever one you want to say it.
Official pronunciations aside.
Potatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes, it's whatever,
What you gonna do about it?
But so, what's your probably all-time favorite Pokemon game on its own here?
I think Pokemon Platinum is my favorite game. But a close second is Fire Red and Leaf Green. But, I'm not, totally old school because I started with Crystal, but I played all of them. So...
I think my favorite might be Pokemon Go, just because it's fun to play with you.
But I mean the main series games.
In all seriousness, I think my favorite was Pearl, because I played the crap out of Pearl.
We're Gen 4 babies.
Yes. Much love to Gen 4.
Even though we're older than that.
Yeah, we are, but...
Because that was 2008, 2006, I think.
God, that was the last time the Red Wings were even in the Stanley Cup Final, was 2009, so... It's an old time.
Oh, babushka.
That's it. Pokemon ruined the Red Wings. Now I know who to hate now. I know who to blame. But you were never... So back to sports, not sports. God, I am so off track today.
More sports.
The only reason why we're talking, I'm thinking sports right now is because we got game, I think it's game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final.
Yeah.
Is on tonight. And I've been getting texts from our Blues fans all day.
Sports ball.
Yeah, my knowledge of Pokemon is equal to Mila's knowledge of what they call sports ball. Which is funny because before I even knew her, I listened to a guy named Urinating Tree who had a segment called This Week in Sports Ball. And so I knew exactly what she meant when she said sports ball. So
see, you can tell me everything about hockey. I can tell you everything you need to know about Pokemon. Together, we're the power couple.
Power couple, indeed. The Mai Tai connection. But so, what are some of your other favorite games that you enjoyed growing up with and enjoyed playing when you were younger?
Well, I had a Super Nintendo, which we have, right in the corner. I actually got it working, an original Super Nintendo. And
Super Mario World, what's up?
Yeah, I played a lot of that. Chrono Trigger, Super Mario RPG, a lot of Kirby. That was fun.
Which I need to play.
Yes. And I had a GameCube and, a Wii. So I've played, like, a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them are my favorites.
I know when we first moved in, we played some Wii bowling with each other.
Oh my gosh.
And other stuff like that.
I've never been so scared in my life for you, like, to launch our Wii remote into the TV.
Listen, I even had the little safety strap on.
I made sure that we wore the safety straps.
It defines a personality whenever
wear protection.
I'm just like, to hell with the safety straps. I'm going to eat this thing with the TV if I have to. And Maya's like, you put that safety strap on right now.
Oh, you make me sound like the bad guy until there's a fucking Wii remote in our TV.
No, you're not necessarily the bad guy. You're just more the sensible person in this relationship, And we're yin and yang,
Like immovable object in unstoppable force.
We're chaos and order, Shout out to Splatoon.
Well, that's just a normal thing.
Yeah, but come on. I mean, it's their final Splatfest. I totally would chose chaos, by the way.
Well, you're not playing it.
I know, but so you mentioned earlier that you were excited about Gen 8.
Yeah.
What are your expectations for? Are you kind of expected to be like the Pokemon Let's Go that they had, or what do you think it's going to be like?
Well, they said that it's not going to be like Pokemon Let's Go. Like, I feel like some parts are going to be more open world-ish from the trailer. And I'm really excited for just like a new region and a new game because it's been so long since I've actually like played a new Pokemon game.
I say the last new one they released actually was Sun and Moon, if I'm not wrong, correct?
Yeah, so like
I know they had Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but like those are just like, oh hey, steroids into the game. Here we go.
Pretty much. I mean, they were still really fun. And then Pokemon Let's Go Eevee I played, but it wasn't like new territory.
You want to tell them what you did to me with Pokemon Let's Go Eevee?
What?
Than the cartridge trick that you put on me. But we're gonna slam on the brakes of Gen 8 real quick, and we're gonna tell. I can still taste it. Like, do you want to tell? Or do you want me to
TJ
tell?
has like PTSD from this, so he didn't realize.
Microchips are not chocolate chips.
He didn't realize that so the Nintendo cartridges, like, they make them taste really bad so kids don't, like, swallow them because they're so small. TJ didn't realize this, and I'm like, hey, you want to taste this?
Whoa, okay, I remember this exact conversation. Hey, they made this taste really weird when they made the game. I've seen this on, like, Reddit and Tumblr and Twitter. You should try it.
Okay.
Me, being a trusting boyfriend, just... Oh, yeah, sure, she won't lead me astray. She won't ever do it. I licked the cartridge. Almost threw up. It tasted like...
Five pictures taken before a disaster.
It tasted like rubbing alcohol mixed with vinegar, mixed with paint. I don't know...
Only you would know how to describe that taste.
Yeah, and people are probably listening like, I really hope he doesn't know what that tastes like. And there's like a 50-50 split among people who do know me. They're like, either he does know what that tastes like or he's pretty accurate on what that might actually taste like. There's no in between. And so I'm probably going to get a couple of concerned texts like, did you ever actually... No, let me just go ahead and squish that right now. I've never actually mixed the combination. The three separate individual, delicious. But,
oh yeah, I love to have some paint and rubbing alcohol.
But so back to the Gen 8, and I guess kind of back to Pokemon in general, you and I, we've had a connection on, we love our water starters and everything, we also love our grass types. Our grass type starters. She's trying to distract me here, people, and it's working. But so, like, which one do you think you're going to lean with more? I know you also said that there was the fire one that you were looking at.
Mm-hmm. Like, there were some leaks, which I'm like, I can't really tell if they're true or not. I really like Scorbunny because it's, a rabbit. Mm-hmm. But, there's like a 99.9% germ-free evidence that it's going to be a firefighting type. And the world doesn't need another firefighting type, but I like the bunny, so I'm just going to choose it anyway, so,
I'm going to go with the dumb water chameleon because he looks so dumb and I love him.
As do many people.
I love the meme where they hand him the sword from the Pokemon Sword and Shield, and he's like, he's got a life.
No! But I always like the green monkey because it always makes me think of that SpongeBob quote where he's like, the monkey's not. The monkey's, something else. The monkey!
Oh, from the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah.
Making all those. Okay. I was like, this is somewhere in the back of my mind, and I'm
See, I'm always full of SpongeBob quotes.
Yes, that is.
I know it's not a personality trait, but
it should be.
It's just part of my childhood.
Like you were never on Tinder or any of those online things, but if it was, I could see it being in there. Don't swipe right on me unless you're full of SpongeBob references as well. If not, it'll be like the perfume section all over again.
Oh gosh.
And like that would have sealed.
And if I was on Tinder and you saw that, you'd be like, deal.
Super like. Be one of those like, God, can I just message her even if she doesn't like me? Like, please, like. But so anyway, back to kind of your gaming. I know we've played a lot of Smash Bros with each other. You are far better than me, but I've come a long way. You have to admit.
You have come a long way
from not knowing what button was to fly or even to jump back up and get onto the ledge to I had Meta Knight there where
I'm always just like up, no, and then you die.
Yeah, I had Meta Knight there where I was like, oh hey, I have a super powerful side attack. Hope I don't miss.
Like I'd be fighting pow, and then I'm like, oh, there goes TJ.
Yeet, just like there goes me. Speaking of yeet. We have a very strong connection also when it comes to vines.
Oh my gosh.
I remember when...
I think that's just a millennial thing, but...
I remember like when Joshy Boy and everyone else came over, we watched the giant vine compilations.
Oh my gosh.
For, God, how long did we watch those
It was
for?
like an hour or two. It was long.
It was a really long time. I don't understand... Like, we rarely saw the same vine twice was the thing. It was an amazing experience.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10
Bumber 15.
No, don't even start doing that, okay?
Speaking of Vines, like, TikTok's like the cursed version of Vine, and I memorized that Bumber 15 Vine.
Yeah, so if you haven't, if you don't know what she's referencing here, there's a YouTuber, and I forget his name.
I don't know.
But he's just like, number 15. Burger King foot fungus. The last thing you'd want in your Burger King burger is someone else's foot fungus. But unfortunately, that's what you might get. And there's like someone standing in 2 tubs of lettuce with their bare feet in the background. Well, someone made a TikTok version of that where they replace every starting letter with the letter B, and Mila can do it perfectly at this point.
Well, and the thing is, like, we'll even, like, say goodbye to each other. Like, if you drop me off at work, and I'll be like, Bumber 15. Burger bean butt bettis.
Babasting be bumper, burger bean berber is.
Bone mouse's butt bungus, boo bye bet.
And, like, whenever she first started it, I could feel my brain hemorrhaging and twitching and
like I'll even do it at work, and they'll be like, "Did I just have a stroke?"
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it felt like. Like I'd feel my eyes fixate to one corner, and I'd start drooling out of my mouth, and it was just terrible at first. Now it barely even faces me. Now it's just like.
Well, see, I'm just like I'm a bard, right? And I'm just rolling for a.
Speaking of bards, let's go right back onto this. I remember. I remember the only time you sent this to me was, this is what my character would be like in D&D as a bard, and it was the
oh, DJ Splash.
Yeah, with the
oh, now I have to pull it up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just preface this here by also saying that we also have a special update here on the Just Your Average Teach podcast, the 30 Minutes of Midnight podcast, and the channel as a whole. That Mila, and I, we have decided that we got a new cat. We had Lily there for a while. Unfortunately, we had to take her back to Mai's parents' house, and because she just wasn't happy here in a cramped apartment. She was a partial outdoor kitty. So after, what was it, probably 6 months or so? Around that time?
No, well, like, we gave Lily back, like, a month or two.
Not just a month or two ago.
No, it was. Oh, I thought you meant just all together.
No.
Like, I'd say probably like 4 months ago.
Okay. And so we decided we went and adopted a new kitty. And it's a fluffy kitty named Juno.
But you need to tell them the story of how we adopted Juno.
Oh, God. So we initially went up there because we were just looking at cats, and they were telling us the story about how we were like pointing to this one cat in the corner because he looked extremely fluffy.
Which all of them were super cute.
Yeah, all of them were extremely adoptable. I'm surprised we didn't walk out.
One was really, really fat, and it was so hard to like not get this 14-pound black mass.
14 pounds of. We wouldn't have to worry about him fitting underneath the couch. Like
he was a chunky boy, a unit.
But so we were talking to the person here at the shelter that we got them from, and they were talking about how Juno, originally name was Mayhem, but... Mayhem. I always get that confused. Like, again, that comes with the Pokemon thing as well. But
cats are not Pokemon.
I will throw Meowth as my rebuttal card, and I will walk away and drop the mic. But...
I can just imagine you, like, sticking, like, coins on cats' heads and making them fight.
I'm going to start, like, photoshopping images of coins on Juno's head and be like, look, she is a Pokemon, I told you. But they said that Juno, is the only way I'm going to call her now, was brought in, had a brother, was adopted, and spiraled into, like, a depression of sorts, where she weighed, like, 15 pounds. And then
because the brother got adopted.
Yeah, the brother got adopted is why she spiraled into depression. And... so she's lost a lot of weight. She started coming out of her shell, but she ran almost up to us at the shelter.
She kind of like crawled up. I mean, she was just kind of minding her own business.
But they said that she doesn't.
And remember,
normally...
this time we thought it was a he, and that'll come later.
And this time we thought we thought it was a he initially, and it was just all sorts of confusing. And but anyway, we went up there. Mai had work and everything. And I had the day off. I had just gotten off work.
And the previous night, I had filled out the application for the kitties.
And so I went up there, and I had called previously, and I'm like, hey, how long does it normally take from application to be able to adopt? And they said, normally it takes about 24 to 48 hours. So we're not expecting, when I go up there to drop the application off, to get a cat. I go up there and like, so, you just want to take her home today? And I'm like, absolutely.
And this whole time, he's texting me, right? Because I'm like, I don't know if, if it's an older cat, I don't know. And
yeah, because, like, I'm like, oh, hey, by the way, she's 6, and
I didn't want to admit that I really wanted a cat.
Yeah, and so you're like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, what do you mean? Because, like, at this point, cat is in a cat carrier in my car. And I'm driving. Like, I'm at the bank pulling out some extra cash because I was going to go get a game that day. And I'm like, what do you mean you might not want this cat because it's 6 years old? Like, this is a problem. I can't.
And then you're like, call me. So I run outside and I'm at work and I'm like, okay, what's going on?
And I'm like, so... do you not want the cat? And you're like, well, and then like I have you on, and you're like, I don't know. I'm like, well, then you're gonna want to hear this. And I put her on speakerphone, and she heard meow, 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 because she was not happy being in the box.
Yeah, in the background, you just heard meow, meow, and I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like, we can't just return her.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, hey, by the way, yeet. We don't yeet the kitties here,
No.
like. But so, yeah, that's the story of how we got Juno. We've had her, 3 days now?
It's like, technically 2. We've only had her 2 days. Well, and like, so the first night she was like so scared and so skittish, but she was so sweet.
She was.
And then, so day 2, right? Rolls around.
Oh, God.
And I leave to go and get like vegetables at the farmer market that morning.
And I was getting ready for work.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, it's okay. She's hiding in this one cubby hole under like the bookshelf, and she's fine. So you go take a shower. Mm-hmm. And then, so I'm halfway through, like I'm chatting with people. Are you okay?
I almost broke my chair there, but we are okay. I saw my life flash before my eyes, and
I was going to do nothing about it.
Yep. I peed myself a little bit. It's okay. My heart's racing. I can feel it. Continue with the story.
a side note, I've never seen your face so scared.
Well, it's your cool. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna die.
It's happening. But anyway, and I'm halfway through just like minding my own business when I get a few text messages and a call from you. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay. And I listen to your voicemail, and so I call you immediately, and you're just like, I can't find Juno anywhere.
Not even 24 hours in, and we've lost the cat.
So immediately I'm like, okay, don't panic. It's no big deal. So after I get home and you're gone, that's when I start to panic and cry because I look under the couch. I look in our bedroom. I look in the bathroom. I look in her cubby holes and every little nook and cranny until like an hour later, I see some furry ears poke out from behind the microwave because it's in a corner.
See, and like what I find funny about all this is like, you know, when I called you, I had looked for probably about 30 minutes at this point. I had looked underneath the couch. I'd looked at just about every place. And then I call you and you're like, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. She'll be fine. Just go to work. And I'm like, she's oddly calm about this, but she probably thinks I didn't look at all or anything. And
and part of me was just like, there's no way she could have left after I did because I watched my feet.
Yeah. And then you get back, and then I hear you crying, and I was almost like, yeah, Harry Houdini, isn't it? Like
Harry Houdini.
I was like, yeah, not funny now, is it? Not. Oh, just relax, it'll be okay.
But I'm like bawling at this point because I'm like, I'm a terrible mother.
How do you think I feel? And you're like, oh, just relax, it'll be okay.
But then I see her head poke up, and I hear, meow, meow. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
I'm gonna have to go through and put a picture of the
I still have a picture.
Yeah, I've got it on my phone as well, so I'm gonna have to download that and just be like, oh look, that's where June, like right, just she's a bit of a stinker. She's a very silent kitty, but she's finally calming down. She took a long nap today.
Yeah, she's finally like yesterday she was really, really like hiding and stuff and just having her own space, and then even though she hid underneath the couch today, she's, been out and about, and
she finally slept. She's been eating. Yeah. So it's been really nice to kind of watch her start getting a little more comfortable and everything, which is wonderful because it took Lily probably 2 weeks to get comfortable in here.
Which I guess like the difference between Lily was that she was used to our house, and then all Juno knows is the shelter.
Yeah, so. But I think it's really nice that she's able to kind of relax here.
And soon we'll spoil her.
Yes, we already do. I mean, but you want to talk about Lily a little bit here real quick? Because, boy, she's an interesting character.
Oh, gosh. Like, I feel like all cats have their own personalities and stuff. But, so, we got her when she was a kitten because my uncle had kittens like the sophomore year I was in high school. So that's about 5 years ago. So basically she
5
was
years ago I was graduating.
She was I know, you're old.
Oh, babushka.
But basically like we get this kitten, right? And Lily's not even my cat, it's my sister's cat. And my cat's I named her Chi Chi. And so Chi-Chi grew up to be this, like, stealth killer of, like, she brought home birds, she brought home snakes, rats, mice, a crawfish of all things. And then Lily is fat and lazy. Just like many kitties.
Just like me.
But, her stunning features are drools when she's really happy.
Oh my goodness.
Will sit in your lap. Will lay on your head when you're trying to sleep. Yep. Will knock things over in the middle of the night when you're trying to sleep.
Will become a battering ram in the middle of the night when she can't get in the room that she wants.
Yeah, because usually she slept with me, and sometimes I'm like, Lily, I would like to have a decent night's sleep tonight, instead of you waking me up at 3 a.m. to go pee. How about you don't? And then she's like, well, boom. She would actually like ram her head or her body into my door just to open it.
And I thought she was kidding whenever we first got together. And she's like, oh yeah, by the way, my cat can open doors just by throwing her body weight into it. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Laying there one night, I can't sleep. And I'm just like, man, I was in here. Boom. Boom. Boom.
and then eventually the door will push open.
And the door just, it didn't just push, it flew in here. And she jumps up and instantly starts purring, and I feel her drooling. I didn't know cats could drool in the first bit.
She's just really happy to see you.
And then she just curled right up around your head, and asleep she was, so I had to get up, close the door, and then 15 minutes later, she's like, hey, I want out again. Let me out.
Let me in.
Let me in. Let me in. Let me out. Let me out.
And I remember, like, one night while she was staying here, like, we're peacefully asleep, and then we didn't hear her in our room, and all I hear is meow meow, and this black mass just shoot over you.
Oh,
I thought you beat yourself.
Yeah, we're just laying there, because didn't we have the door slightly open?
Yeah.
And
she can, like, sneak in, too, without opening the door.
We just had, like, a nice little talk, and we're just laying there, and we're just like, that was nice. All of a sudden, meow, meow, and jump, and I just see this mass coming at me. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm gonna die. Like, I thought this black mass of a cat was about to maul me in my sleep. And then she's just like, oh, hey, humans, I'm going to sleep in between you guys now. Hope that's not an inconvenience. Bye.
Well, and I was just like, oh, hey, Lily. Like, I wasn't phased at all.
My heart was pounding because I was not used to cats doing that. I have a bearded dragon that I have to pick up, you know.
But each cats have their own, you know, personality. So we can't wait to find out Juno's.
Yeah, we're excited for that. Anyway, back to that YouTube thing. Now that we've spent the past 15 minutes and people probably forgot, you're doing the happy slaps, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. But should we go back to, now that it's been about 15 minutes and people have probably forgotten about what we were talking about?
I almost forgot about what we were talking about.
I did there for a second.
But, yeah, D&D, bards, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, but that really just kind of describes you as a character. You're gonna find a way out of everything. If you know, in a bad situation, you're gonna try and make it good type deal.
Yeah, which is fun. Or, you know, just sing until I seduce someone.
Yeah, right. Hey, how's it going? We have a lot of inside jokes, and honestly, that could just be an entire another episode as well. But I think one of the few things that we've done that make me probably the happiest right now are some of the shows that you've gotten me into.
Also, disclaimer, we're not furries or anything.
Okay.
The cat meow is just whenever we do something bad or something that we shouldn't, you know, make a meowing noise because it's just a joke.
It's, yeah, like Lily would...
Disclaimer, not a furry at all.
Like Lily would, whenever like she'd be doing something, you just... And you'd be like, what do you think you're doing? And you chase her and like run away.
So that's where it came from. It came from Lily.
I forgot where we were going to go with this now. You can tell we really put a lot of thought into this podcast. I should have been thinking more about it, but just, you know, it's a lot easier to just kind of go with the ebb and the flow and just kind of see where things go. But anyway, back to the shows. That's where we were. You know, one of my favorite things is like, you know, you got me into Gravity Falls, which was a fun, you know, I'm like, I'm not going to get in some stupid kid's show. Like, there's not going to be any good characters or any. And
it was actually good.
It was actually really good. Now I'm on Steven Universe. I'm almost done with that.
I made sure that TJ staying far away from the community as possible.
No, you haven't made sure. Because season 4 is where like, you want to see all the porn of kids? Like,
no, I did not do that. But I mean, there'd be characters I'm like, yeah, that person is just like that in the fandom and blah blah blah, and I'm like, it's awful. Yeah, it's awful. I only do it to torture you.
She showed me the side of Tumblr I never wanted to see, and it's been bad. That now all I'm thinking about is the.
But you got me into wrestling, though.
I did get you into wrestling. I got you into hockey.
Mm-hmm. See, it's a give and take.
It's a give and take. And then I'm gonna try and get you into MASH because that's a really nice show. But I don't know how far you'll actually get into it or if you'll like it at all.
But I mean, see, with wrestling, I'm like, yeah, woo,
Go
sports
Asuka!
Ball.
You know,
yeah, I'm like, ooh, you know, I'm like, I like that woman because she's pretty, or, you know, that guy is really weird. Is this Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, every buff guy walk out, Lesnar? No.
John Cena?
No.
What? The Rock? What? Brock Lesnar?
So, but it's been interesting because, like, you're like, oh, this is boring. And you're like, now I'm interested.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, when's the table gonna break?
You mean they talk? They develop storylines?
Yeah, I was like, are you serious? They talk in wrestling?
You're like, it isn't just, you did this.
Yeah, the only thing I knew about wrestling before this was that episode of South Park where they're making fun of it, and I'm like, this can't
Still
possibly be true.
Like,
yeah, I'm like, this can't be right. And then I saw it, and I'm like, wow, this is kind of accurate.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're not wrong with that aspect of it. That's the crazy thing about it all.
And the other thing was, I always would see gifs of like McMahon just shredding.
Yeah. Oh God, Vince is some crazy dude, man. I mean, genius, I'm sure, but man, and I'll have to show you this podcast later on. It's Talk is Jericho. Mm-hmm. But I told you how he had Dean Ambrose, Shawn Moxley. Recently, and man, did they really tear into it. And then I listened last night. They had the resurrection of Dustin Rhodes, who was a guy that used to be in WWE named Goldust, who you would have loved as Goldust. I'm gonna have to show you highlights.
Sounds very Western.
He is from Texas, but anyone who's ever watched wrestling and you know who Goldust is probably laughing right now.
Yeah.
I'll show you later, or I can even show you right now because I feel like that would be. Some high quality content right here, actually. So let me just pull this up. Go away, random YouTube I was watching.
It's funny though. Like, I just know nothing about wrestling, and you know nothing about Pokemon. It's just the perfect combination. And like, half the time when you say like a name, I'm just like, oh yeah, and then I don't know who they are until you show me. And then just with Pokemon, I can talk about something to be like, oh yeah, and then.
So I'm just trying to think. Yeah. So here's like the top 10 most bizarre moments of Goldust. After this ad plays.
Is this copywritten? I feel like that might be copyright.
It is what it is. It's like a live reaction channel. Let's not worry about it.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what?
So.
Okay, well, I get the Goldust.
Yeah.
Is he racist?
No, he's not racist at all.
But that man is. Gosh, what does he remind me of?
I don't know, but here's his...
He kind of reminds me of Marilyn Manson.
Here's his debut way back, I think when was his debut? 1995. Was when he debuted.
My gosh, that was before I was born.
Yeah, it's before both of us were born, if that tells you anything.
That makes me feel so...
But...
Like, he looks like a queen. Like, yeah.
Well, he's supposed to... That's what he's supposed to play as a very, as they put it, androgynous character.
Yeah.
Didn't even know what that word meant until I had to look it up last night.
Really?
Yeah. No clue.
Now, is he, like, actually transgender, or no? Or did they just make him play that?
They made him play that for a while. He's not, but it's just very interesting character.
He
kept that character for years. I mean, all the way up until just recently when he went to AEW, that new promotion I was telling you about.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he had an amazing match with his brother, and, yeah, it was just incredible. But is there anything else you want to talk about while we're here? Or should we just go ahead and start wrapping things up? I know it's not as long as Colt and I as you normally do, but...
Well, and I feel like later on we'll have more... Like, once we get into the stories...
Yeah.
This is more, like, the introduction.
Like, hi, this is my... You're going to see a lot of her coming in the future. Take it or leave it.
So, well, thank you for having me on your podcast.
Anytime. You're usually in here, and... So, but that's going to be how we're going to wrap it up. This was a nice new episode of mine. You get a new voice in here. It's not just Colt's beautiful mug you get to see now. Now it is Mai's beautiful mug. And that's how we're going to end it. Again, thank you guys for listening. Tell your friends, because, like, again, at 100, you get to hear the Hershey's Kiss story and a few other stories that I'm sure you'll love. And it was my goal at the beginning of the year to get up to 100. And we're getting there. I think last I checked, I was at 43.
And I will walk 500 miles.
That's what's going to get me copyright claimed right there.
Oh, goodness.
It doesn't matter. But anyway, thank you guys so much. And we will see you in the future.